Hey y'all, it's David Ducker coming back at you, and today I'm going to be talking about the role of the GM. I'm going to be defining what I think the GM's job is. Now this is very much an opinion piece, and I want to hear your opinions back too. So I want to hear what you think the GM's job is, what all his responsibilities are. And I'm going to do a companion video, the role of the players, what their job is at the table, before the game, after the game, whatever. So I'm going to start off with the GM though. So in my opinion, the role of the GM is to first of all form the group of players. Second of all, guide their character creation and set the expectation for the game. Also to build the world, write the story, and then guide them through it. Now there's a lot of subcategories. It's a complicated job. That is to say, it's a large job. I don't think any individual step is very complicated, but there are many steps to being a good GM. So, like I said, first thing, build that group. So, find 6 players that you want to play with and that want to play with each other. That can be very easy or very hard. For me, it's very easy because everybody locally knows what I bring to the table. Whether they like that or they hate that, but they know about me because I'm active in the community and on YouTube. But find the players, then set the expectations. Say, okay, I've gathered you 6 individuals together, and what I want to do is play Call of Cthulhu type game set in 1933. So we're going to go a little bit more badass than Call of Cthulhu. So you're going to be kind of two-fisted pulp heroes. So this is the expectation I'm setting. Everyone make a character who's going to fit into 1933. Going to be a two-fisted adventurer. We're going to go on horror, fantasy adventures. And we're going to be tied together by Miskatonic University. So that's the expectation that I'm going to set. And I'm also, of course, going to set that this game's going to be very character and plot driven. It's not going to be about power gaming and tactical combat. It's going to be about the characters interacting with each other, exploring themes of horror, fear, madness, heroism, and also concepts of Lovecraftian fiction, of the insignificance of man, and vast aeons of time, and unknowable eldritch beings. So I'm going to set this groundwork down, and then I'm going to help guide each of them in making their characters. So if one guy wants to be an evil Nazi, I'm going to say that's probably not going to fit in with the rest of the group. If one guy wants to come in and make the Rocketeer, I'm going to say that's not going to fit in either. He's too powerful then. He's got a jetpack. It's going to take away from the horror. But once they've all created their characters, then we come into the second part of my job. So that's as a writer. So I'm going to write, first I'm going to make the world. In this case it's based on the real world. So I've got a lot of resources to draw on. And I just have to lay out how it's different. Maybe I'll read the Call of Cthulhu guidebook, the Realms of Cthulhu source book. Maybe I'll read all of H.P. Lovecraft's stories. Maybe I'll watch Sky Captain and The World of Tomorrow and Indiana Jones and The Mummy back to back. So I'll take elements, I'll build my world, the setting, the backdrop, and more importantly, I'll fill it with all the characters that I want. The evil occultists, the mad scientists, the Nazis, the rival archaeologists. I'll build all the characters in there as well. Because because they're part of the world. They're the most important part of the world. And then I'll get the story, and I'm like, oh, they're going to go from point A to point B to point C. You know, the beginning is going to be introducing all the NPCs. The middle, we get depth on the NPCs, and they start to interact with each other. And then the end is when they finally clash with each other so much that we get this climactic explosion. So we'll go through like that. So each NPC might have a beginning, a middle, and an end adventure. Maybe. There's a bunch of ways to plot it out, but you got to plot something out for the story. So now I got the story, got the setting, I got the characters and the players, and they all know what their role is. Now all I got to do is referee it. You know, I just sit back, throw them into the sandbox, provide them as much guidance as I can towards the interesting parts without breaking character. And we just come through, and I just referee. I take on the role of each NPC, I play them as their character would dictate, and I try to steer it all towards this climax. And we just go down the line. Beginning, okay, I'll introduce each of the 5 NPCs. Middle, taking into account and reacting for what the players did, I'm going to explore them more in depth. How do they react to the players? And then start hitting each other. So that's the middle. And the end is going to be, that, but even more so. All their schemes are concluded, they're killed, they go mad, whatever it is. So that's the end. And that's about it. You know, that's what the GM has to do to me. And to educate the rules just a little bit as well. You know, set down the house rules, which system you're using, all that goodness. So let me know what you think about the role of the GM. I'm going to sign out. Cheers.